Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Lunch Hour, brought to you by Constant Collab, where we eat, sleep, and breathe finance, news, and everything in between. So if you like finance, news, and crypto, make sure to subscribe. We have a great show lined up for you guys today, so let's dive in. Hey, Brian, how you doing today, man?
Good. What's up, B? How you doing?
Good, good. It's a little rainy out here, so just trying to stay dry.
Nice. It's nice and sunny down here in Charlotte today.
No, I'm jealous. I'm jealous, but
Yeah.
So today we are going to be talking about a number of things in the crypto market. So wow, I don't have it pulled up. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get fired here real quick. So as soon as it pulls up, we are going to start with the crypto market overall. So today the market cap for the overall market is at 2.733 trillion. So we are getting close to that 3 trillion market cap. That would be amazing. The overall volume is at 165 billion. And Bitcoin dominance remains at 44%. Um, it's been around, 45, 44 for a while now. So let me see. And Ethereum is at 19.5%. So it ticked up about half of a percent over the past few days. Uh, the overall market has increased by 3%. So it's at 3.06 for the day. And let's see how the top 10 are doing.
What
Wow.
about Doge Universe?
Wow. That's what, 200,000%? We're
Yeah.
actually going to talk about those large percentage increases here soon. We have a project that a few people got hurt buying, so we're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. But overall, let me see. Bitcoin is at 63,852, up 4% for the day, 2.34 for the week. And Ethereum is trading in all-time high territory of 4,500, up 3% for the day, almost 4%. But the top 10, yeah, the top 10 is they're pretty much green. Um, high single digits. Polkadot is trading in all-time high territory, $51.77, up almost 8% for the day. Shiba Inu still holding the number 9 spot and is actually down. That's the only one that's down outside of Tether, but that really doesn't count. In the top 10, it's down 6%, 6.17. And then Dogecoin is also, I mean, it's flat. It's down, what, a tenth of a percent? Yeah, so, yeah, the market overall is pretty green. That's pretty awesome. So let's get started with the news. Let's see what's going on. If I can click it. So the very first article that we're going to talk about, this is actually one of the projects that Brian talked about last night on Crypto After Dark. Make sure that you guys tune in for that show. We airs between 8 and 9 every weekday, Monday through Friday. Brian covers, uh, and everything going on in crypto, new projects, specific cryptos. Tonight, I think we're going to be talking about what, utility tokens?
Yeah, we'll talk about some utility tokens and other tokens that are actually gaining some traction from, corporate and stakeholders' eyebrows.
Okay, so yeah, make sure you guys tune in to Crypto After Dark tonight. But yeah, the Sandbox skyrocketed 60% after a 93 million fundraising round led by SoftBank. The blockchain-based gaming platform, the Sandbox, has secured 93 million in the latest round of funding led by SoftBank Vision 2 Fund. The Sandbox is essentially a sandbox game for mobile phones as well as Microsoft Windows, developed by game studio Pixel. The platform was released in May of 2012. 3 years later, it was launched on Steam. Honestly, I did not know that the Sandbox was that old. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, and Steam's a really popular, mobile or a gaming platform, right? That's hosted Half-Life and other popular games throughout the past decade or two. So I didn't know either. And obviously, they've known something for a while. If they've created Sandbox in 2012, right? They're super early to this space and are certainly starting to see the fruits of that with
Right.
in conjunction, with Facebook's announcements and things like that.
So after you looked into Sandbox last night, Brian, how do you feel about the project overall?
I feel like it has a lot of potential because it definitely has like a Minecraft vibe. And if you
Mm-hmm.
think about the younger generation and what they've been exposed to, I even texted my brother. I was like, "You spend so much time on Minecraft. You could capitalize off of this in your free time if you got used to it." And I admit it's some of it's harder for me. I didn't play Minecraft that much growing up, but some of
Right.
the games that I learned weren't the same from a pixel perspective, right? It's every block has a personality is essentially, right. It's all pixel blocks worlds. And so I think it has great potential from that perspective because everybody pretty much from our age and younger understands and knows how to play these games. And so
Mm-hmm.
just to go in and start capitalizing it um, is just a transition from a, hey, you can only play an hour or two video games a day parental mindset to the
Right.
fact that like not only should you be capitalizing off these games, but it could be a core part of the future and how you obtain income.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could definitely even today, you can make a living playing those play to earn, crypto. We're moving from an environment, from a world where you had to pay to play to a play to earn, environment, which is amazing. I mean, I was reading an article not too long ago where pieces of land were, selling for 200, 300, $400,000, and people paid what, a couple $100 for them. So I mean, we're talking about huge gains that people have made where, again, a 2x2 block in a game is more expensive than a house. So that is something that people need to keep in mind. And this is a very, very early industry, or at least the play to earn, and that mentality of gamers should get paid for doing something that they love and something they enjoy to do. And to your point, our siblings and stuff like that, they should be looking into that, especially people that spend so much time playing video games. There's You can literally make a living now playing games from your computer and whatnot.
No doubt.
But moving on, Goldman Sachs expects Ethereum to hit 8,000 by the end of 2021. According to Goldman Sachs managing director, the rise in inflation can push Ethereum price to over 8,000 by the end of 2021. I honestly think that it has to do that there's more than just inflation that can push the price, but the multinational investment bank Goldman Sachs believes that Ethereum's native token ETH can nearly double in its USD value during the remaining 2 months of 2021. The managing director of that financial institute justified the forecast with a correlation between cryptocurrencies and global inflation rates. More precisely, they are in direct proportion, and the rise in inflation leads to all-time highs of digital assets. Again, a lot of people are making the argument that it's just the inflation thing, this is and that. We're in a bull run, pretty much led by the Bitcoin halving. That's how it's been since its inception and stuff like that. Does inflation play a role in it? I think so. Yes. Why not? That's just another catalyst that can push cryptocurrencies higher. But I think it's the halving cycle, and that's how it's been. More people are more interested in cryptocurrencies, and more institutions are holding it. It's becoming more legitimized, as the days go by. But can Ethereum reach 8,000? I think so by the end of the bull run. I don't know if it's going to happen precisely at the end of the year. It could run into January, but that's a high possibility, in my opinion. What do you think, Brian?
I like it. I agree with you. I think the headlines are all part of market cycles and timing that are sort of beyond our control.
Absolutely.
And during those cycles is when they all reset, their various parameters and indicators so that they can make those big moves to the upside.
Mm-hmm.
So these are fun, I guess, because they kind of sort of confirm what's about to happen when you get a Goldman or a top 20 financial institution, so to speak,
Right.
talking about the price, it usually happens for
Mm-hmm.
whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason. And so I think this just confirms the timing. I also think this is like calling for Bitcoin to hit 100,000. I think Ethereum will probably see a higher price in this bull cycle, but this is surely a healthy, maybe conservative target for December 31st.
Exactly. That's one thing that I like about this call. It's definitely, pretty conservative. I mean, we're talking about what? 100% gain. And I mean, Bitcoin hasn't even hit 100,000 yet. So if we do see Bitcoin picking around what? My call is 115, 130. I could definitely see Ethereum go push closer to 12 to 15. So I think 8K is definitely doable this bull cycle. Again, I'm not saying by the end of the year, December 31st, but it could run, into January, mid-January or so. So
Yeah, no doubt.
this is a good call. I mean, I like it, so I'll buy it. Moving on. So President Bukele, El Salvador to use, if I can read it, to use Bitcoin profits to build 20 schools. So, for those that don't know, El Salvador is holding Bitcoin as they legalized it as legal tender, and the government is holding it in reserve. I think they currently own close to 1,200 of them. They just bought the dip not too long ago. They bought exactly 420 at what? I think it was around 59,000. I think that's when he came out and said it. But with those profits that they're taking, they're gonna build 20 schools. I mean, that's great for El Salvador. I'm pretty sure that the people are not complaining about it. And there was a little backslash about the government legalizing it and making it legal tender, and it wasn't. Sometimes the media, they tend to spin like what's going on, because the way that the articles were being read and written, they were saying, that the people were completely against Bitcoin, that they didn't know anything about it. They weren't upset about Bitcoin becoming legal tender. They were upset about the fact that they felt that the government did it unilaterally. The president made the decision and then they pushed it through their Congress and it became legal tender. There was not much discussion about it. And that's the only reason why the people were upset. It had nothing to do with the fact that they didn't like Bitcoin or anything like that. It was just that, they felt that the government was um, doing it on their own without conversation from the public or Congress. So right now, I mean, like I said, they are going to build 20 schools with those profits. So I think that it's going well in their favor. So what do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I think the emotions you described all come with that. What I consider to be a majorly false pretense of voting, right? We
Right.
feel like because we're able to give these decisions out and cast our vote, that we should feel convicted by the decisions that are made, etc. And in general, my opinion is that none of, a lot of those things are built in, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so on the other side of that, obviously, I think, you know, Bukele or Brokele, as I like to call him now with this backwards hat, um, is working in their people's best interest, right? A lot of people don't even understand,
Right.
what's happening, can't even comprehend it on that scale. And on the flip side, I'm pretty sure a very large majority of their residents have already opened up wallets and have gotten started. And
I
so,
I think
you
over
know,
75% have their wallet, so the Bitcoin wallet. Plus, I mean the government. I believe that they were giving them $100 worth of Bitcoin in their wallet if they open one.
mhm.
So I mean, from the moment that they get they gave that money to their people, I think it has either double or triple. So we're talking about $300 worth of Bitcoin that Salvadorian citizens are getting for free. So, like I said, the narrative was being uh, changed in a way that it was making it seem like, oh, everybody was against it, this and that. No, they weren't. They weren't against that. And to your point, Brian, I think that obviously the president is doing things to help the country overall, to help the country advance. And the fact that I don't know if it's gonna happen anytime soon or anything like that, but that they want to use thermal energy from the volcanoes to mine Bitcoin, this is, very forward thinking. And if I could, travel to the future 10 years, I'm pretty sure that, El Salvador might be one of the wealthiest countries in Latin America, period. So
Mm.
just the way that they're moving and the way that their president thinks, I really think that they have a bright future in their hand. So,
Yeah, I think that's a super fair bet.
so let's move on to the next one. What do we have? Shiba Inu gets listed on Kraken before Robinhood. Honestly, that it comes to no surprise to me. Kraken is not a public company; it's not publicly traded, so they have a little more flexibility when it comes to regulatory compliance. So, people are still pushing for Shiba to get listed on Robinhood, and I mean, just like the article says, it's been trading between that 7 and that 75 range. So it's looking for another catalyst to push, to a new all-time high. And a lot of people think that that listing on Robinhood might do it for them. But yeah, for it to get listed on Kraken, that's not a surprise to me at all. They are, at the end of the day, they are a business. They're looking for volume, and a lot of times Shiba, I mean, it's bringing it. What was it on Monday or Tuesday? The volume was higher than what Cardano, Solana, and XRP, all three of them combined,
Right.
right? So yeah, exchanges at the end of the day, they are looking to bring part of that volume to their platform. So I don't have anything else to say about that article.
I'm not surprised either. I think Robin, the ones that are connected with banks as well, also have a lot more hoops to jump through as it relates
Right.
to the way that they establish themselves. I mean, a lot of these exchanges are just offering access to these securities and then charging small fees for transfers in and out. So,
Right.
that's how they're getting more volume as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Does
mean,
Kraken have a coin?
I don't think so. No. No. That's one of the few. Are you looking into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the few exchanges that actually does not have a token attached to them.
Yeah, they
Uh,
don't.
yeah, yeah, and then I think Gemini, they have like the Gemini dollar, so it's really not even a crypto, that moves up and down with price. It's pegged to the U.S. dollar, so it's a stable coin. Uh, so yeah, no, I'm not
It's
surprised that Kraken listed it.
it's had some surges to 110 and some drops to 91 Gemini coin. But
To
whatever.
to 91.
Cents, yeah.
Wow, what's up with the volatility though?
It's just like little like snaps. It's like
Spikes.
yeah, it's like people are like it's like 5 minute candles.
Yeah, it's just the liquidity is probably really low on that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's surprising. But anyways, so I found this other article. Metaverse and gaming tokens, they are becoming very popular. This is another one here. For some reason, they called it what is it? Let me see. 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 Here we go. So obscure altcoin mana spikes 400% as Facebook metaverse pivot spurs bet on virtual property token. So they call it obscure. I mean, Mana has what 6.5 billion market cap. But Mana is the ticker name for Decentraland. Uh, so little known token Mana soared after Facebook rebranding Pivot Thursday. The price of Decentraland, whose ticker is Mana, peaked at a record high of $4.60 on Saturday. That's a 400% gain since the announcement. You talked about Decentraland, didn't you, Brian, last night?
We did.
How do
Yeah,
you
we
how,
looked at
how do you feel about that project?
I think it's extremely um I don't know. It's more complex than the obscurity that this Market Insider's article provides. I think it's um I don't know the word I'm looking for here. Matured, I guess, is a good word.
Right.
And I think they understand the market. I think they understand where content creation and creation in general is going. And I think Decentraland is going to be a healthy place to put digital assets in the future and get some. I like the landscapes. They look kind of cool. Like you can buy some digital universe and go live in Decentraland. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Again, I don't understand why they're saying that it's obscure. It has a $6.5 billion market cap.
Right.
Um,
I
so
guess that's kind of tiny these days, though.
I guess so. I guess so. But no, that's definitely a project that I will. It's gonna be on my list of projects that I want to add during the bear market. At this prices, I just can't do it. I feel like right now we're in a spot where you have to just watch the market and let it play out.
Right.
Um, and then definitely on my list to add to my portfolio when the bear market comes around. So I think it's a great project overall too. So let's move on though. The next one, this is so. I just wanna go on a 30-second rant. People, be careful where you put your money. Just do your own research. Like look into it. So, game over. Squid Game inspired crypto scam collapses as price crashes from 2,800 to zero. Like people, just don't FOMO into stuff. Uh, there is a saying that some one of the YouTubers, I totally forgot his name, but he says buy big green candles, get big red dildos. So so don't FOMO and
Uh,
like me personally, I see something go up 50%, I'm not buying it. Like I'm gonna wait for a pullback, and especially something that I know nothing about. So
right.
I wanna go over this. I have some highlights here. So it's just man, it really upsets me when people get burned like this. Like it really does. But let me see. A cryptocurrency inspired by Netflix international hit TV show Squid Game scam investor in what appears to be a $3.38 million rug pull scheme. Dubbed Squid Game, the cryptocurrency plunged to almost a fraction of a cent in minutes after crossing over 2,850 on November 1st. The deadly drop owed following it. Oh, after a 75,000 percent gain, showcasing a greater demand for Squid among traders after its debut on October 26th. So in literally like 5 days, it gained 75,000%. Like, why would you even buy that? I mean, let me see. So right here, there were a bunch of red flags that had people, looked into them. They would have been like, no, there's no way I'm buying this. So right here, in the days leading up to the massive crash, traders had complained that they could not sell their Squid holdings in the only available market, a decentralized exchange called PancakeSwap. In their defense, Squid founders said that they had deployed an innovative anti-dumping technology. Like if you're buying something and they're not letting you sell it, like that's the only flag you need.
Hey, hold on. Can we sort of encrypt this tweet here? Friend of Peach says, a lot of my normie friends bought this Squid Game token. So let's take what does that mean? To me, that means a lot of people who I've tried to tell to buy real projects
Man.
bought Squid Game. So it sounds like, these people are like, oh, I don't want to buy crypto, but I did love the Squid Game. So I'll buy this Squid token because you know what? Crypto's fake, right? And so they buy this speculative Squid token. They're like, haha, fuck you, buddy. We're up. I'm up big time on this, and you're up only at 500% on your real projects. And then that's what this tweet says to me.
No,
A lot of
dude, absolutely. Look at that chart. If you're buying, best believe, if you're buying that big green candle, you're gonna get that big ass red dildo right there. Like, come on. It upsets me, man. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, do some. And wait, hold on. There's even more red flags here. So, and this is another thing that like really upsets me.
one
Major.
thing before you go further too,
Yeah.
sorry, is obvious looking back at that chart, obviously a chart's going to look like that if nobody is able to sell. The only person that's able to sell is an exchange who's already been probably pre-funded with all of the supply
Buyers.
available.
Yep.
And so there's not really any selling happening. And so obviously, if you ever see a chart like that, you have to realize that it's like flipping a coin. How many times can you flip a coin in a row before it's buyer, 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 buyer? Somebody's gonna feel differently than you and sell it.
New anti-dumping technology.
What the hell does that mean?
Like, what does that even mean?
We were talking about shit coins before the show, and that sounds like a shit coin anti-dumping technology.
Man.
Oh
So let me see. So right here, major news network CNBC also published the Squid Game cryptocurrency founders claim without omission, insofar that it calls Squid Game the very own brand of the Netflix show. So that's something that like really upsets me because not even CNBC did their own research. You know, they didn't look into it. They were like, oh, another crypto's pumping, you know, 100,000%. Let's put it out here. Oh, and it's attached to the Squid Game. Like, oh, this is awesome. Like, let's talk about it. Had CNBC done their research and looked a little more into it, they could have told people like, no, don't buy this. This looks like a scam. So right here,
that is so classic.
man, the Squid Game cryptocurrency founders also said that they were affiliated with Netflix show as its official token partner. They also claimed that they had entered a strategic partnership with CoinGecko, a crypto data provider. However, in an interview with Cointelegraph, CoinGecko co-founder Bobby Ong refuted the claim, saying Squid did not meet our listing criteria, hence it will not be listed on CoinGecko. They didn't even meet the listing criteria for CoinGecko. Come on. And CoinGecko literally like the criteria are pretty low. Like if you look,
you can get your cum rockets and ass.
You can get your cum rockets on CoinGecko. And
easily.
And Squid Game didn't meet their listing criteria.
Come on. They probably read the white paper and was like, yeah, this anti-dumping technology seems a little sketch.
Dude, like, I kind of feel bad, but part of me is also like, you know what? You also kind of deserve it. Like,
I don't feel bad at all. You know how much people text and send messages to me all the time, like, oh my gosh, why isn't this moving? Why isn't that moving? It's like, I don't know, because I guess real progress takes time. Like, I don't know how people sleep buying into these.
So right here, this guy tweeted this out. While the founders are not on LinkedIn, beware. I was going to ape. Closed Telegram groups, no founders on LinkedIn, high risk. Rating XXXX on Squid Game. Come on, if they have a closed Telegram group where they're not letting people in, you can't find any of the of the founders on LinkedIn or any social media for that matter. Why would you put your money in that? Like, that's money that you want to lose. Like, there's just no way for me to wrap my head around it. That's money that you want to lose. Anyways, like, I just got to move on before I throw a computer against the wall. But your boy Aaron Rodgers wants to convert part of his salary to Bitcoin. So he partnered with Cash App, and he's going to, through Cash App, he's going to be able to convert part of his salary into Bitcoin. I think that's awesome. That just, shows that adoption's there. You said that it was late.
Yeah, he's feeling late. He's looking at He's tired of looking at Tom Brady FTX commercials. He was at home I think they played on Thursday night, so he was at home on Sunday watching all those dang commercials, and he was like, "Screw it,
right
on the Packers." And what's interesting in this is, like, you could say, "Hey, why doesn't Aaron Rodgers just buy Bitcoin?" Well, if you're making that much money and you go to any marketplace, the transaction fees that will be associated with him receiving a paycheck, paying taxes on cash, and then buying crypto, paying the fees, selling it, etc. I'm sure he is surpassing many of those layers, so to speak, by having the Packers organization and who was it, the Cash App, sort of partner here on, what's essentially going to be the future of payroll. And so, this is also should make headway for folks to get paid every day, which has its good and its goods and its bads. For a lot of folks, having daily liquidity would be great. For a lot of folks, they don't have any money management skills, and so being paid every day will surely test their ability to survive in the real world.
Right.
But that's not here. That's just another aspect of the future here. But it's great to see. There's been tons of athletes that have done this already, but It's nice when the headliners do it because now everybody in Green Bay is like, oh, maybe I should get, paid in Bitcoin. So
Yeah,
it's just more adoption.
I agree. I agree 100%. On other news, this is stock market news. I found this one to be very interesting because people are buying this stock pretty much on speculation. But Musk says that Tesla has not signed a contract with Hertz yet. Halts stock rally. So Elon Musk. So there was rumor going around that Hertz had signed a contract for 100,000 electric vehicles. Apparently, that is not the case, and I think the company had shares fell. Yeah, after Musk said that the contract had not officially been signed, the shares went down about 4%. I mean, that's a lot for the stock market, but I mean, at least he's being honest, because the Tesla shares were rallying when this news came out. I think it was Thursday or Friday of last week. But and then he was like, if this is happening because of so right here, if any of this is based on Hertz, I'd like to emphasize that no contract has been signed yet. He said that yesterday, late on Monday via Twitter. So if you're buying
Classic buy the rumor, sell the news, because even if they sign the contract, the daily RSI on Tesla, the last time I checked,
it's probably outrageous.
It was not good. It's down today 3% only, but yesterday the daily RSI was 94.79.
Jesus.
It's back down to 85.
And I mean, that's still high. That for a stock?
For a stock, yeah. The weekly is at 86, which is also really high.
Yeah.
And so and there's a gap in the chart, right? There's a gap from 906 to 946, which is a speculative Hertz gap, and so it's going to get filled. 850 probably, 900 easily going to come back, and so anybody who's buying this news and paying $1,000 for a Tesla share right now is gonna see some
hurt, and I mean
some hurt from Hertz.
Yeah. Seriously. But the final one for the day is some regulatory news. If I can close this, the massive loophole that only Congress can close. So the company standing behind over 100 million in stablecoins, cryptocurrencies linked to the dollars are effectively banks and should be regulated as such. According to a new report released on Monday by the Treasury Department. Okay, let me just keep going. Why it matters. Such regulations urgently needed per Treasury. Can't happen absent new legislation from Congress. If and when that happens, stablecoins and crypto in general would have a hugely important vote of confidence from the U.S. itself. So pretty much the Treasury Department released a report on Monday saying that stablecoins should be regulated, or stablecoins providers should be regulated as banks. Then that's just to prevent, a run on the stablecoin and risk to the financial system, according to what Treasury said. The CFTC and the SEC, they've been going back and forth, especially when it comes to this area of stablecoins. According to the Treasury Department, some they can be securities, some can be commodities, and some can even be derivatives of other markets. So who's going to regulate them? I mean, I don't think we know that yet, but according to the title, this is a gap that only Congress can close. Treasury is pushing, for Congress to do something about it. They don't, it's currently the stablecoin market is 136 billion. So they want Congress to jump in there sooner rather than later. So what do you think about this regulation, Brian? Who do you think should regulate it? I guess it's a better question.
I think somebody in the United States should get their shit together. I mean, everywhere we turn.
Well, that's every agency.
There's some U.S. regulatory issue, and it's sad's not the right word because it's almost expected, right? We see it over and over. So sad is saying that you you don't have any appropriate expectations. But what the hell, right? I think all of us, we all went to school and learned about branches of government and et cetera. But I think at this stage, we're all a little bit concerned on or a little bit confused on who is the regulatory king as it relates to this market. I think obviously the SEC and the Federal Reserve seem to have this tandem of sort of, you know, regulatory royalty as it relates to the previous universal, global reserve currency, I should say. If you want my opinion, it's not a U.S. regulatory, because this article is not related to just the United States, right? So there's corporations globally that are going to have, high stakes in stable coins. And so in the future, is it just going to be Congress? I don't know. I think Congress in general should be the ones making this decision and nominating the CFTC or the STC or FDIC, whoever they want to be, the regulator here. But I do agree that this could, you don't want a corporation buying, getting an over realistic monopoly on the stablecoin space, which would cause instability potentially.
Yeah.
On the other side of that argument, aren't stablecoins always going to be pegged to this number one? I don't want to call it a dollar, but it's just the number one. It's the most principal number in our world. And
so I think that is something that Congress, and regulators overall are a little worried about, in the sense that, Tether, for example, they were supposed to be pegged 1-to-1. And then after, reports came out, they only had 75% of their reserve was actually pegged to the dollar. So I think that is something that regulators are having an issue with. And then some companies are pegged to stocks and securities and other liquid assets. So where is the line drawn? And I think that's something that needs to be hashed out, in the sense that if they're going to say that it's going to be pegged to the dollar, then it's going to be pegged 1-to-1 to the dollar. If it's going to be pegged to another liquid asset, then say that it's going to be pegged to another liquid asset. But don't release a token that you're going to say oh, it's going to be pegged 1-to-1 to the dollar, but and then it's actually pegged to other things also. You get what I'm saying? And I understand why they do it. It's to mitigate risk.
Right.
But that's not what you're telling your customers. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's why regulators are worried. So
100%.
I honestly do think that this area needs to be regulated. I mean, the entire crypto market needs to be regulated in some way, shape, or form. But I think everybody's afraid to touch it, and they don't understand. I mean, a lot of people in Congress don't understand it. I mean, Jesus, a lot of them couldn't. A lot of congressmen and women did not understand how Facebook was able to operate for free. So
can you imagine an open trial about some of this stuff?
They don't understand it. Again,
they're in charge. They're in charge.
Brian, a lot of them did not know how Facebook could operate for free. They did not understand the ad revenue model. Like, seriously? And you're writing laws.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just gonna let's just leave it at that.
That's a good place to stop.
That's a good place to stop. Anyways, so make sure to join us tonight on Crypto After Dark. We're looking at around 8:30, right, Brian?
Yeah, we'll do 8:30.
Okay.
We'll talk about utility tokens. We'll talk about Solana and some of the other projects that have done really well recently, and we'll probably talk a little bit about VeChain and XRP and other pairs like that too.
Okay. So with that being said, see you guys tonight and catch you on the next one.
See ya.